We met when we were 20 years old and got married when we were 24. Here are some things we wish we would have known before we got married. Hi, it's Brandon.
And Mariko. Going through our 8th year of marriage, we are realizing how little we knew going in. There are some factors that were crucial for us to know to build a happy and healthy relationship that nobody really told us before we got married. Number 1 was budgeting, or talking about financial situation constantly. When you get married, you sometimes buy a house, have kids. For us, we needed to get our own place, get an extra car as a household. Life costs money. And being on the same page with financial plan let us build a good foundation to build a life upon together. But we didn't really realize that first couple years, right?
Yeah, I would say 3 to 4 years maybe in before we really got the sense of needing to budget and creating a plan to communicate about it. We had monthly goals and schedules when we wanted to pay off some of the debt, like our student loans and the wedding. So having all these countless conversations helped with that to plan for our future together. We also learned that a lot of these things are just really seasonal in life.
Like in our case, we bought a house in 2nd year into our marriage. So that added mortgage into our monthly expense. So the income we needed grew, and I also changed my job. So I had a part-time job first, and then I switched to a full-time job, and then it went into 2 full-time jobs. 2 part-time jobs, and then at times 3 part-time jobs, and then now I'm back to 1 full-time job. My job has constantly changed, and I kind of adjusted it as we went with our financial situation, where we were at with mortgage first, and then we added a car. And then for us specifically, we always planned international trips back to Japan to go visit the family. It really depends on what you want as a couple too, but I know some of our friends had a full-time job, they were a lawyer, and then they decided to stay with the kids at home, so became a full-time parent. But the thing is it's a very fluid situation, and the important thing we learned was to always communicate and reassess what the relationship is needed at times to build good foundation.
The second thing was really marrying into the family, knowing that the time spent is going to be a little bit different. My family, we spend a lot of time together, and so finding that balance between our early marriage phases and trying to still spend time with family was kind of tricky at first. We tried to support each other with the balance of speaking to, for instance, her parents at first when we started in America, and getting time to have conversations with them and sending them updates and pictures of what we're doing, really.
He was very good about giving me the space, as quiet as possible for me to be able to communicate with them because of the time difference. That opportunity is pretty limited. So whenever I'm on the phone with them, you just have the cooking going for dinner, so I don't have to worry about it, and I can take a good half an hour to talk to them and stuff like that. So yeah, you marry each other, but you also need to consider family. It's gonna be involved into your family, and there's some things that you do learn to be blended into a new family, but then also it's you gaining another set of family, so it's kind of nice when you find the balance of it. And then also getting to know your in-laws is super, super valuable for your relationship, I found, because the honeymoon phase is real and your emotions are so high, but eventually you came down off of those feelings, and those aspects of life you kind of disregarded in your dream fun long distance relationships start to matter. You start to see qualities in each other that are both good and bad, but having the understanding of where your partner is coming from definitely helped me to not take it personally. Although I do, but as much as it did help me to not take it personally, and then also to have a constructive discussion of where to meet in the middle, because you will never be thinking or feeling the exact same, but understanding what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable, uncomfortable, I feel like definitely helped.
Number 3 is really compromising, because marriage is like a bank account. You can't keep withdrawing without depositing some in every now and then. Learning to do stuff that is more based on maybe what your partner wants to do and brings your partner happiness is something that I really had to learn, going from my bachelor life before. When I say depositing, also it's important that there's really no expectations to go along with that. That means maybe giving compliments or giving time here and there without expecting that time or compliments right back.
Or, being the one to apologize first after you argue, which I'm still working on. I promise I am. Without really expecting them to come for your feelings at the same level, at the same time. Because it's, sometimes that's just unrealistic expectation. It is hard, but again, it's about depositing into that love funds, and we all want to feel loved. And why not make that person that you love feel loved? If you keep depositing, it does take some time. It takes a lot of patience. I'm learning, but it will pay off someday for sure. So it's all about depositing without expectations. And again, I'm still learning.
This leads into another big thing that we learned in marriage. Self-love. Taking care of yourself will also help you be there for anyone else around you and your partner especially.
I think it's very true when they say you cannot pour from an empty cup. I learned that I cannot expect my partner or surroundings to have a full influence on how I like myself. Like this one thing that kept reoccurring in our relationship or conversations was I kept asking him to show me that he loves me, like show me your love, which he was as much as he can.
In my own way.
Yeah, and then again, he's a really great guy, so he was doing a great job, but I wasn't feeling it because I didn't have a capacity of like taking compliments or accepting the fact that I am loved, because deep down I thought that I wasn't worthy of being loved because I didn't love myself as much as he loved me. So that is when I realized that self-love is the most important thing for yourself, but also the most important thing for you to be available for your partner. And for us, what saved our communication and feeling loved was finding a good therapist. We've had a therapist for us together, we've had therapists individually, and that definitely gave us the opportunity to reflect and work on ourselves. And I think that made us better partners, all in all.
Yeah. These are some of the things that we learned throughout our marriage. But if we would have known this stuff from the start, it would have saved a lot of heartache. For us, I don't think love is simply enough to get through all that we've gotten through so far in life. It took commitment and communication, and all of these things are a huge opportunity for self-growth and finding that deeper purpose in life.
I hope our story can help you sell off to a healthy relationship with good foundation. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please kindly consider giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment, subscribing to our channel, and hitting that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future content.